Attention gamers, according to some random outdated article I found online, League of Legends has 27 million people playing their piss pit of a game daily, which means every single day there are 27 million divided by 10 carry the 2 slap Aunt Betty's left tit and you get millions of games played every day, and by my own data about 97% of these games contain at least one troll feeder or douche snozzle, effectively ruining them. So what I am trying to say is that it is nothing new or admirable for someone to troll a game. But that wasn't the case with River Shen, a proverb that dates back to 2015 in the prehistoric era, where you didn't queue as a role and had to train your fingers to type faster than your foes to essentially call dibs on what you would be playing. There was a man who didn't call a role but rather just locked in Shen with some seemingly troll summoner spells and said nothing to his team in chat except for River Shen. Now at this point in the story, as a league player, you should find nothing admirable about this scenario. If I were to queue up a game insta-Lockenheimer with Cleanse Ghost and say nothing but Grumpyheim in chat, you can bet your bottom dollar that my bottom dollar would be getting a 9 followed by an X tattooed to it in the post-game lobby. But not River Shen. He didn't jungle nor support nor communicate anything, but rather just sat in river killing the convoluted crabs and ganking lanes, effectively turning him into the first jungler in the history of League that actually ganks, a strategy that apparently works as it snowballed all 3 of his lanes and they won the game. So I guess the moral of the story is that trolling games is high risk high reward, because if it doesn't work you get reported to an imaginary council of fake beings, but if it does work, and it's just crazy enough of an idea, you will be a legend forever. And since I would like to be a legend, I decided to put this chaos to the test in a game where I strictly adhered to the following rules of River Shen. You must take Exhaust Ignite. You cannot clear jungle camps unless they are water Pokemon found in the river. You must frequently gank all lanes, and you must only communicate in chat by saying River Shen following all plays, good or bad. So please join me in my adventures of losing my River Shen virginity in a performance that left me myself surprised of its power, and then politely slap the piss out of the like and subscribe button so I can say dumb shit to you again in the future, and let's get into it. Alright, now as mentioned, no smite, no jungle camp, so the first question was what the piss do I do with my time until the river shits out its first scuttle, so I opted for an invade until my sped ass was informed that buying an item would be a wise first move. So while that wasn't a requirement of River Shen, it did kill time until the first waves of hooded midgets met in the middle of the map for their anticlimactic brawl, and I wasted no time paying a visit to this sophisticated ape who responded to my presence by choosing an interesting direction to run in. But one of our slacking hoodlums bailed his ass out, and since mommy long legs would rather scissor kick a red robe than contribute to my attempts to taxidermy the baboon, I came up blank and ended my first gank with a few thought out remarks as I went on my way. Psych, that's what I wanted this furry ass to think too, but no, I am damn River Shen. So a quick ring around the rosy with the mountain and a guess who's back bitch said by yours truly, and voila, not 3 minutes into the game and we were already in round 2 of Chimp Pursuit. And full transparency, I thought this one would end when I lit him on fire, but the rascal hit a flash at the buzzer beater, and I have seen Tarzan, so I was well aware of what his species was capable of doing while being chased through the jungle, but I was committed to my craft, and thanks to my tall mommy of a top laner performing some quite impressive parkour, I was able to claim my first blood bank with a prompt spank. And now still level 1 due to me having yet to kill an NPC. I ran mid to see how our toddler of terror was faring against High Noon Windshitter, and my request that he dispose of his flash was respected, so I politely thanked him in all chat and then proceeded with my intricate and long list of duties, which now consisted of murdering this lopsided turtle. Then straight back to let Rafiki know that he is dealing with a better, faster, stronger and well more evolved version of himself, so a clutch wall hump hit thrust by tall Kathy and a taunt delivers the euthanization, and then that ratchet ass reindeer comes in and I Deadpool the hoe during her dramatic wind up to update the score as humans 2, animals 0. This allowed me to acquire the new Moby Dick shoes and paired with Predator, as well as the red ring that I snagged off that Scottish stag's dead bitch body, and we were ready to be introduced to the butt munchers of the bot lane. Our support kicks things off early, and this is League after all, so he doesn't need any help killing the ADC as I dash in to say Shen. First name's River, and after a dramatic falcon punch, man tights takes a hike as well. At this point it's time to venture up the southern stream, because there are only 2 jungle camps I am interested in extincting, and word on the street that knapsack slapping little slut is trying to steal my thunder, so I ping for help, but unfortunately River Shen lacks a smite and my mid laner apparently lacks any and all awareness of her surroundings. But she eventually starts coming, and I think I am finally about to earn my title of the master baiter until that stupid windshitter has to come and, like everything else in this game, ruin that too, leaving me to withdraw myself through the woods and then articulate to everyone my disappointment in the outcome of that encounter. But I am not done with that ponytailed walking tilt-provoking breeze bitch, so I open with a taunting remark, but thanks to baby Rapunzel being about as useful as a screen door on a submarine, followed by me activating Predator mid-fight and metaphorically taking its cookies out of the oven before they were baked, that goon of Gale survives. But if you know anything about me, I fight to maintain the integrity and longevity of this game, so there are few things I won't do to kill a Yasuo, as I take the scenic route to tap him from the back and claim my kill before I then straight back to remind this puff pussy that I literally have nothing better to do than camp his lane, and I actually charge my Predator to completion this time before informing the douche that I can dash too, which prompts him to run away from safety, a common side effect of Yasuo syndrome, as Zoe continues to skip around the lane seemingly looking for her brain cells, and I chase knowing some aerial intercourse is on the table, but little did he know it would be a threesome with my sword zone as I part ways, hoping my mid can land her auto attack for the kill. And since that fight left me a bit wounded, I run up my beloved river to snack on some giant GMO raspberry boogers, which reveals the frolicking fawn, so I run over to grab her attention, and hey look, Barbie can land skill shots on stationary targets, which allows us to dab on the dough before the drowsiness transfers from her dead bitch bones. The mid laners have decided to take their incompetence contest down bot, and I love competing in those, so I head down only to have a near miss with the male stripper, who proceeds to undoubtedly win the whole contest with an ult that would make onions cry, and since no windshitter can resist the urge to jerk off that ult button when it glows, I get to use both of them as props in a game of pin the tail on the tower, handing me a double kill, to which I express my excitement in chat. Then back to top side of the map, and a little shrub scouter starts going full-blown exorcism in a ritual to bring Inspector Gadget's wife into battle, so I provoke a temper out of the tomato and then geometry dash at the right angle to delay two of the bozos from entering the tap my top laner's ass party before running back to regroup and get a nice view of the tranquilizing toddler doing a bitty burst on the monkey. At this time I feel ready to reintroduce myself and turn the tides of this jamboree, as it's just scraps at this point, but of course Zoe had to step out for a second to check if she was getting her first period or something seemingly more urgent than being here with me, so we don't get to gang up on the Gale goon like I had planned. I get word that long-legged Alice is off in Wonderland fighting some coked-up caribou, so I cast my surprise crawl out of your asshole ability, emerging from her thigh gap with great enthusiasm to lock down Skippy before informing George here that there is nothing to be curious about and that it would be in his best interest to just spin shit his way back to safety before I start feeling dashy again. Full disclosure, my greedy ass kind of just hung around in the area and waited for him to come back a minute later, because I wanted to double down on the evolution hierarchy argument earlier to prove that we just know so much more than him, like advanced geometric shapes, but he just insisted on spinning until his expiration date. But the final joke was on me, as my little Excalibur dance floor did jack shit in saving me from burning to death. But a minute later the simp whose chimp was up and in a dangerous part of town waiting for us patrollers to find his ass ready to be spanked in the cove. Then these shitters have the nerve to exist in my river, so the emerald nightmare looking hoofed whore gets sent a message by our team Girl Scout cookie distributor, and then I dash through her golden but soon to be dead body, which then prompts a chase to send them back to base. But George here is no longer curious, rightfully so, and my Jin casts an ult that only a mother could love as we press on. We catch up to them edging with the walls of their base like it's Mordor, and we are soaring as the ape gets slepted into shafted, and then the windshitter decides to airbang mommy long legs, which conceives a child, and I am that child bitch as she gives birth to me, and I just stand over his dead head letting my gooch stank under all this armor, wafting him and waiting for his return so I can slap him silly one last time. And even the other team loves and applauds anyone killing their own Yasuo. And for his kind remarks I let him take me up into the air for a quick date, and then asked if I could invite my friends for the late night festivities, and boy did he get fucked good. Then tall Kathy is off more overextended than the obtuse angle she draws on the ground, so I cast Stand United, which means shit me out dirty like some bad Chipotle aftermath, which kills the caribou, and then I let this dumb asshole auto me a good 12 times before I let her know she'll just tire herself out doing so. I come out of base hotter than a spoon at a heroin addict's house to see our team Ninja Turtle up to no good, so I Stand United out of his anus this time to inform this yasshole that his presence is no longer needed, as the hormonal high school wrestler comes in as well as our ADC to conveniently make us a party of 4. We chase the male stripper into the shrubs, and then I blue ball him from slapping the pissy plant before writing it myself as a way of saying nan nan na boo boo in this hoe's face before he dies. Then I catch that British/Scottish stag and her shit sack jerking herself off in the shrubs, so I ask her to sit still for the ambient injection, and then I proceed to watch our kill condition wasted worse than a Valentine on a prostitute, so we take a shameful slumber and she gets away, but not to fear. Feeding Rafiki is here to get taunted before playing a quick game of peekaboo. Here's a spin, now put me out of my damn misery combo. And so my first experience of River Shen ends with us just bloody bullying them in base, dismantling their hopes of winning against a quasi-trolling first-time Shen, and despite one hooded midget employee taking a celeb shot from downtown Disney World to put me down, I end the game with a respectable number of participations in homicides before signing off with a resounding River Shen in chat. Rav out. How can I carry when Rift Alexa won't stop saying?